Hello, everyone. Hello, our amazing studio audience that is totally there. Thank you for joining us in this week's episode of The Greatest Book Never Published, the podcast where we read the greatest book never published. I'm your host, Nim, and I am joined, as usual, by Nate the Great. Yes, and
Steven.
Again, for our second time, so maybe he'll join us more times. I don't know. I think you're a welcome addition to the podcast. It's a good time having you here. So, the more the merrier. That's what I always say.
Eventually, we'll get like 10 people in here.
Just have
10 people crammed on
Crammed
his couch.
on the, just like, okay. Yeah, as people are sitting on top of each other and stuff, you're like, okay.
We've got enough mics for that, though.
Too much ever. Yeah, and let me just buy 10 of these mics, you know.
Why not?
That's
you have money,
definitely
right?
not cheap. Anyways. I mean, you guys are sharing mics, so I guess people could share mics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like 5 faces crammed around
5
one
faces
time.
crammed around.
All right.
Anyways, so basically, for those of you who don't know, this is a podcast where I read a book that I wrote when I was about 13 years old, and we make fun of it. So, if you haven't listened to the other episodes, you should listen to those first, so you have full context. So let's catch up with where we were last week. So Nate's gonna go on a date. That's a rhyme. Nate's gonna go on a date. And Jameson was about to get stabbed in the face. Mm-hmm. So I think that's about that catches us up pretty much.
Wait, didn't he already get stabbed in the face?
Well, no, remember it ended where
head.
he's like, I'm accepting my death at the end of the chapter,
okay.
Because it's about to like slam right into his face. So, anyways, chapter 21. This is told from this perspective of Zach Thompson. I am running down the stairs of the hotel, trying to get to the bottom to help Jameson. Oh, that's right. They were in a hotel room. I forgot about that. Steve, being the selfish guy he is, stays behind. Oh, way to call out Steve.
Doesn't Steve have super speed though? He could actually do something.
Yeah, but Steve's selfish, as he just said. That is a character trait that has been established in an earlier chapter, so yeah. That you weren't here for. I now run out the front door to see Jameson lying on the ground and the man with the unknown weapons. I don't know what to call the weapon. I'm like, what is it called? So it's just the unknown weapons is what I'm going to call it.
All right.
Cool. I see that he's about to send the blade down on Jameson's face. So I run as fast as I can. I love my wording in this book. It's always
I'm just saying,
perfect.
he had a friend, a friend who could run a lot faster, but apparently doesn't care.
As fast as I can. Jameson! I yell. I know it's crazy, but the next thing I do is jump to the ground in front of the blades. I do it just in time. The blades come smashing into my face, but they don't cut me. In fact, I don't feel any pain at all. I try to get up, but I can't move. My body is completely stiff. So I actually got 2 powers. I can phase through things, and I can turn completely solid and indestructible. I can't move while I'm solid, but it's still awesome. So he has the power of extreme erection, I guess.
Wow.
They call me Hard Man. That's a superhero name.
Better not be.
No, it's not. It's not. Don't worry. I don't know how far into the book we actually get their superhero names. I don't know when they come up with them. I stay solid until Jameson regains his strength and jump out of the way. It should say jumps out of the way, but that's okay. A little typo. At the same exact time, the man slams the blades back down on me. This time, they just go right through me. When he pulls the blades back, I turn to normal and kick him with both my feet in the chest, sending both of us to the ground.
To the ground.
Yep. I stand up at the same time he does. How are you guys doing this? He says. I am one of the best bounty hunters in the world. When I took this job, I had no idea I was dealing with superhumans.
Sounds like a really annoying bounty hunter.
Would the best bounty hunter in the world really say that?
Probably not.
He'd be more like dark and mysterious and not really talk until his target is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say, I don't really know how we're doing it.
Just carrying on a normal conversation with the dude who's trying to kill him.
Just after I finish saying that, Jameson comes. Also, what a subtle way to kill somebody as a bounty hunter. Just slam the weapon into their room, jump right in, like, dude. Right in the middle of a street.
Well, I mean, he's a bounty hunter. I don't know. I mean, it's... Yeah, he's killing a bunch of kids. Like, you think you want to make it, like, quiet and quick, but no.
Discreet.
Loud as possible.
That's the best way to do it.
Like,
yeah.
You know, you'd think the cops would have showed up at this point already.
Are you sure you're one of the best bounty hunters in the world?
Yeah, I don't know.
On today's Watch Mojo list of the top 10 bounty hunters in the world, number 1, weird weapon blade guy.
All right, let's continue.
Just after I finish saying that, Jameson comes slamming into the bounty hunter. They both slam to the ground. The hunter slashes
you just love the word slam.
I use the word slam a lot. Slam. The hunter slashes Jameson in the stomach. Blood flying everywhere. But he has super healing abilities, so it's fine. I run towards him. When I get close enough, he slashes at me. Before it hits me, I turn my arms completely solid and block the blades. Oh, so he can just turn just specific parts of his body solid. It doesn't have to be the
He
whole
just
thing.
phase through it.
She'd be like, bing, bing. That's true. And just turn, be like, oh, you can't touch me right now.
Can't touch this. Do.
like why make it more complicated? Like, block. Like,
Yeah.
block the blades and shove him backwards. He stands up and slowly walks towards me. Before he gets to me, he does what I don't expect. He throws the weapon at me. You didn't expect that? He's already done it before. You already know it has the ability to come back to him. Like,
yeah.
Why wouldn't you expect that? I try to jump out of the way, but 2 of the blades cut me in the leg.
Oof.
I fall down, unable to stand up. Then
stuff could phase through it. What is he doing?
Listen, he's new to his powers, okay?
He just didn't expect it that much that he just let it slice his leg.
You know what? These are dumb teenagers, okay?
Right, well,
teenage boys are
pretty
dumb.
stupid. So.
Teenage boys are pretty stupid, yes. Then the weapon flies back to his hand through the air. How does he bring it back to him? He can somehow pull those weapons back to his hands without touching them. There's some sort of magnetic mechanism on his suit.
I guess right.
Whoa! His gloves, of course. So all we have to do is take off his gloves. But how will I be able to? I can't even stand up. I hope Steve decides to help. Yeah, he decides to not be a freaking selfish loser. Freaking help
Jeez,
somebody
come on,
for once
Steve.
in your life, Steve. The hunter begins slashing at me over and over, but the blades can't penetrate my completely solid body.
That one solid body. Again, why don't you just let it phase through it?
I know. That's a failure on his part. Anyways, that's the end of that chapter. Moving on to chapter 22. This is told from the perspective of Nathan Thompson, so back on his date. So we're going to take a break from the action and have a nice date. Abigail and I are sitting in an Italian restaurant where I hope I can find some information about Lyle Crepe.
So Nate's the one that's 13, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How is he getting around with this girl to go on a date? They're
They
13.
walk. They ride the
They're
subway.
13 and they're in an
The girl's
Italian
like
restaurant?
16.
They live in New York City. They like ride the
Oh.
subway
Okay.
or something.
Also, isn't she like 16 or something?
No, she's actually 15.
15? Yeah. He likes older women.
I guess that seems a little young to be
He's pulling older
going
women.
out on dates, but
That's okay. He's mature for his age or something. I don't know.
all right, let's look at a new chapter.
I just love Italian food, she says to me. It brings back memories of when I was young and my mother used to make Italian food for me all the time. Why doesn't she do it anymore? I ask, hoping it will lead to a conversation about her family. She died 10 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's okay. I got over it a long time ago.
Wow.
It's just my mom. But I still reminisce about how she used to make me Italian food. But I got over it. Then why did you mention her? Because I wanted you to know. I wanted you to see why I don't like to talk about my family. That can't be the only reason why she doesn't like to talk about her family. There's something else there. I know it. She just confessed to you about how her mom died 10 years ago, and you're just going to be like, I got to get this information.
He ain't no simp.
He ain't no simp. He's got a goal in mind. Okay? I know I probably shouldn't ask this, but I am curious. I say, how did your mother die? I don't want to talk about it, she says as she looks into the distance, as if remembering how it happened. What would you like to talk about? Why don't we talk about your family? There's not much to tell. I have 2 older brothers, who you already know. My mother also died. It was 10 years ago in a car accident. Both of their mothers died 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Coincidence?
Did they die in the
think
same
so.
accident?
We'll see. Whenever the prequel comes out, we'll find out the true story. I don't
Whenever the prequel comes out.
know. Yeah.
Like, that's never going to happen.
I did actually have an idea of a prequel that explained like how his mom died. How their mom died.
To explain how
It also got
Abigail's
into
mom
like
died?
So it's
how
like how...
it has to do with how
Shadow
Shadow started. Yeah.
And, yeah, okay.
Also died. It was 10 years ago in a car accident. My dad is still alive, but as you know, he's been kidnapped. I don't have much else to say. That's okay. I don't really care what we talk about. I just like talking to you.
oh
Romantic.
Tell me, you mentioned your mother, but what about your father? It's a weird way to start that. Tell me. You mentioned your mother, but like, who talks like that? She looks down, obviously not wanting to talk about it. I don't know much about my father. He's always working. How will I get her to talk? There's obviously something really wrong. How do I get the information I need? It's all somewhere in her mind. That's it, her mind. If I try, I might be able to read her mind. I close my eyes and try to concentrate on her mind.
That's awkward. They're just sitting at a date talking, and then he
And
just...
he just goes, she's like, what are you
just like-
doing? We were trying to have a conversation. What? It doesn't seem to be working. Maybe I was just hearing things when Fox was in the hospital room. Wait, what's that? It's like thoughts are running through my head. Not my thoughts, Abigail's. I see memories that I don't recognize. I see the face of Lyle Crape. Abigail's screaming. She calls him daddy. Okay, like I get it. Like it's like a memory from when she's a little kid, so she would call him daddy. That made makes sense.
All right, well, yeah.
But it's just
poorly
funny.
timed,
It's
poorly
just-
timed phrase.
She calls him daddy.
All right,
Anyways,
continue.
Lyle Crape is her father. Wait, I see him shoot someone and kill them. A woman I do not recognize. Wait, I do. She looks a lot like Abigail. Same long red hair, same beautiful blue eyes. It must be her mother. Abigail's mother was killed by Lyle, her father. But why? That's the end of the chapter.
Oh my goodness.
It just leaving you on cliffhangers left and right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. All the cliffhangers.
Jeez, we're just hanging on the edge.
Chapter 23. Stephen Richards. All right.
What was that?
Okay. Chapter 23. Stephen Richards. I'm looking out the window of the hotel room, still not sure what's going on. I see Jameson and Zach fighting the man that wants to kill us. I see now that Jameson is down and Zach can't stand up. What do? I don't know how to take down a guy like this, but I have to. If I don't, they will die. So he's not as selfish as Zach makes him out to be.
You just have
Character
to think
growth.
the whole situation through.
Yeah, he's going through some character growth here. He's learning to not be selfish. I run as fast as I can down the stairs and out the door where I see Zach just lying on the ground motionless as the man is about to throw the blade down on him. I have to save him. He's my only friend.
Wow.
When I get really close, the man suddenly flies back, smashing into a building. A fraction of a second later, I hear a loud boom sound. How did that happen? There was some sort of shockwave that hit him. Where did it come from? Wait a second. It came from me. I have two powers.
Oh my
I can speed
goodness.
and send shockwaves from my body. What? Everybody's just discovering new powers in this fight.
Well, that's good.
I then see the man stand up. He looks at me for a second, then throws the weapon at me. It's coming extremely fast.
Crazy.
But I'm faster. I run off to the side, out of the way of the weapon. It just zooms on past me. I run right next to the man, sending another shockwave at him. He flies back through the air, lands on the ground, and can't stand up. I zoom over to him and see that he is lying on the ground, unable to move. His visor has been broken. I can see his face, but I still can't tell who it is.
Well, why would he know? Why would he know the best bounty hunter in the world? Like, oh, I recognize that guy. He's my neighbor.
That's the janitor at the school. This is what you do when you're not cleaning toilets, Mr. Jenkins. This is a side hustle.
All right.
I won and you lost. I say proud of myself. Why would you say that? Who says that?
It's just like, I'm better.
I won, you lost.
Now what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? This kid's got issues.
Yeah. Well,
Just
he's an
watches his
orphan.
friends almost get killed, and he's like, I guess I'll help.
I
And he's just
won.
flexing on the bad
You
guy after
lost.
he knocks him down.
What are you gonna do about it? It's like a kids on a.
Listen,
This is
he
like
has-
kids on a playground. Like, I won, you lost. What are you gonna do about it? Steve! I hear Jameson yell. Watch out! I turn around and see Jameson running towards me, but I'm not quite sure what he's warning me about. Then I see it. The weapon that the man threw at me is zooming through the air straight at me. I run, but I just barely get singed in the leg with it. I fall to the ground as I look down and see blood.
This guy's very good at hitting him in the legs. He hit all of them in the legs. Nowhere else, just the legs.
No, he hit Jameson
In the head.
in the
Yeah,
stomach,
the one
the
who's-
head.
James
One who
got
has quick
stabbed up a
healing.
lot. The
Yeah.
poor kid just getting slashed to pieces.
Stabbed in the face. Stabbed in the
Grounded, I
stomach.
look down and see blood. Then I see Jameson catch up. His gloves have some sort of magnetic mechanism, Jameson says. That's what pulls the weapons back to his hands. You need to take the gloves off. Oh, I say. Why didn't you say so? I get up and run faster than I've ever run before. I run right past the man, pulling off his gloves and taking his weapon. I stop a few feet away from him. He stands there, unable to fight us. He has been defeated, and I did it.
This guy needs a little bit of humbleness.
Yeah.
End of chapter. Okay.
We got one left.
One left. I know it's sad. We're on the last one. It's really sad. Last one of the day. Anyways, chapter 24. Jameson Thompson. I'm staring at the bounty hunter that we have just defeated. I am lifting him up in the air, trying to scare him into giving us some information. Who are you? I say. I'm one of the most deadly bounty hunters in the world. As he already told them, he answers, they call me Deathblade.
Deathblade.
I
I
forgot.
could have. Wait.
I forgot about the name Deathblade. I had never failed a mission until now.
We didn't fail yet.
They're still alive. You could still kill. All right, Deathblade, I say. Who hired you? That's none of your business, he says. You're not doing it right, Jameson, Zach says as he limps over and grabs Blade from my hands. Who hired you? He yells as he slams Blade against the wall. Who? I want to know,
Wait,
and I want to know
this
now.
guy has like super strength too. Just lifting a
Well,
grown
no.
man.
He's he's strong, but he's like naturally like he's the guy. He's the
pro
he's
football player.
He's
you know?
the Chad.
Oh, he's the Chad.
He's the Chad
Oh,
brother.
The
that
ultra
makes
giga Chad.
Jameson has super strength.
Giga
Jameson before he got his super strength and got a six pack was like a wimpy nerdy kid.
Mm-hmm.
But then Zach was the Giga Chad who plays sports and well, he doesn't actually play sports. I think but he could. He'd be good at them if he did play them. He's too antisocial to play sports, I think. Zach says as he slams Blade against the wall again. You think slamming me against the wall will make me tell you? Deathblade says. Zach grabs one of the weapons and jabs Blade in the leg with it.
These kids went straight from. Man, they're going to get into torture now.
You better talk, or next time it'll go right into your skull.
What?
Holy cow!
This really escalated.
That
I mean, to be
escalated.
fair,
That
this guy
escalated
did try
quickly.
to murder them.
Yeah, but like,
But
they're
these
kids,
are like
and they're
17-year-olds. He's 17 years old. Just, the blade's gonna go into your skull next. All right, Blade says, blood gushing from his leg.
not a very good bounty hunter.
No.
No. Not at all. It was some guy named Lee. Dude, why if you're a famous politician and you're hiring a bounty hunter, why would you give the bounty hunter your real name?
Mhm.
Why don't
Or
you go by
not,
an
like,
alias?
Have like one of your goons hire him or something. So,
Yeah,
like,
so that
he
it can't
doesn't
be
know
traced
who
back
hired
to
him.
you. So that it can't be traced back to you. Oh wait, remember in the beginning chapter where it was like he won the prime minister to be a prime minister, and he was like, it was like the only reason he won is because of the former prime minister's like recent death. Maybe Deathblade is the one who was hired to kill. Actually, well, probably not, because I think because it sounded like people thought his death was more like mysterious, and Deathblade isn't very subtle with his.
Apparently not.
So it probably wasn't, but he hired a different money.
like this is
Why didn't he hire that guy to kill them?
this has had to be going on for like 10-15 minutes now. Where are the cops? They're like just destroying the street and nobody calls the cops.
Destroying the hotel. Like, do you think the hotel owner by now would have at least called the cops?
They
People
can't be
walking
being
down the
quiet about it. I mean,
No.
I mean, they're in New York City, so. All right, Blade says, blood gushing from his head. There's some guy named Lee. All he said is that he wanted you dead. He never told me what you could do. Can you let me go now? No, Zach says. Why did he let you go?
you just tried to kill us. I think I'm just gonna let you walk
The police
away.
will handle you, he says as we hear police vehicles
Finally.
coming.
15 minutes later.
Listen, they had to finish their donuts and coffee, okay?
Oh, okay.
Duh. Jeez, you can't rush them. Like, let's out the window, the police. Wait. No, Zach says, the police will handle you. He says as we hear police vehicles coming. Zach looks out the window to see police swarming the place. He lifts Blade in the air and throws him
I
out
thought they were in
window.
the street.
Maybe they grabbed him and brought him back into the hotel room to question him.
But it
I
never...
guess it never said that.
All right.
He lifts Blade in the air and throws him out the window. Why? Wait for the police to come get him. What'd you do that for? Steve says. There's a garbage dump to break his fall, Zach says. Besides, he did deserve it. See, Jameson? Now that's how you interrogate someone. Yeah, he also has, like, rocket boots that he could use to escape, but, you know.
Once they took his gloves off, he lost everything, okay?
Oh, they took the rocket boots off. What do we do now? Steve asks. He told us who hired him. He didn't tell us where to find him or anything. We go to the alley where some of Bulk's men meet. Oh, yeah. Remember Bulk?
The incredible Bulk.
The Bulk. Where Bulk's men meet, I say, remembering what I read on the computer. Maybe they'll know something. I still don't think it's a good idea, Steve says. Why don't we just go to our normal lives and forget the whole thing?
Wow, that's no fun, Steve. Come on.
What a
loser.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're part of this now, I say. They didn't just want us dead. They wanted you too. You were there at the explosion. You are one of the ones who has superhuman powers. You can't just back out now. We need you to help us. We need all three of us to help. Are you two in? There's no way I wouldn't be, Zach says. Well, Steve says, I guess that after looking at what happened today, you guys probably need me. I mean, I did save your guys' butts. And after what you just said, Jameson, how could I not be in? So, yeah, I'm in. Great, I say excitedly. Using our powers, we will find out what happened to Dad, and we will put a stop to whatever it is that Snake is planning to do. End of the chapter. So that, and end of the episode here. So that was exciting. A lot happened. We got a cool fight, a cool battle.
Cool.
And the best bounty hunter in the world.
Yeah, take it down just like that.
I mean,
By 3 kids.
he didn't
By
expect
3
that.
kids with
He
some
didn't. To be fair,
superpowers.
he didn't expect them to have superpowers.
Yeah. But
What was his plan? Just like throw the blade into the room, kill him, and then just fly away?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
He is
failed.
Deathblade. He causes death by blade because he's Deathblade. So you know. So, anyways,
That's all he's got going for him is his blades, I guess.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what else is there? So I was gonna say. Oh yeah. One thing that doesn't make sense though is so they're planning on going to, you know, do some of their investigating superhero stuff. You know, dress in costumes, put on masks to hide their identities. They just had this fight in the streets where people could probably see them using their superpowers. There's no hiding their
And,
identities
like,
at this point.
Clearly, do their identities matter when they're fighting these bad guys? When they're going to fight these bad guys? Obviously, the bad guy already knows who they are because he sent someone to kill them.
Well, yeah.
I mean, still, I guess. I mean, you know, just in case other people see you, don't know who you are.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that. It's definitely something. I don't know what, but it's something. So anyways, thank you all for listening to this week's episode of The Greatest Book Never Published. Next, we're left on some more cliffhangers as usual. So next week we will find out what happens next. So definitely stay tuned, and thank you all for listening. I am Nim, and this is Nate the Great, and this is Steve. So you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, and you can also listen to it on my YouTube channel, which is called Nim TV. There'll be links in the description, so you can find it on whatever platform you would like to listen to it on. And you can also check out Nathan's YouTube channel, titled Nate the Great. So there's a link to that as well. Anyways, thank you all for listening. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.